Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty, and today we're in Springfield, West Virginia, taking a look at lot 10 of Shadow Knolls subdivision. This tract is just short of 27 acres for a price of $125,000. So that's not 20 acres for $125,000. That's almost 27 acres. And it's all nice hardwood forest. And you can see there's a camper setting up here. That belongs to the owner's son, and I believe that's going to be removed. I don't think it stays. I'll confirm that. But so as you can see, there's a little driveway that comes up in here to where the camper's at. But there's multiple sites on this property for building. We'll explore that as we go. But just check out all these nice white oaks in here. Very, very nice hardwood forest. But let me take you down here and show you what the map looks like. So we are on Caribou Drive right here. And this is where we are. You can see the camper sitting right here. And so it goes back up Caribou here a little ways. And then it goes up to the center of the power line on this side. And you can see how spaced out the lines are on this. I mean, this ground lays nice, and it goes to the upper road, Brockett Drive. And if you really want a serious view, we'll check out the end up here on Brockett Drive, but you might have a decent building site up here on this side if you want something with an insanely good view. But I want to show you, you'll see the power line on the plat there, but don't freak out. That's not one of the big metal poled ones. I'm going to zoom in here, and we'll do a shot up there as well. But it's an old double wooden pole power line. I mean, those aren't the kind that, you know, buzz and crackle real bad, you know, like the heavy duty ones, you know. That's an old, you know, you don't see many lines like that around, but it's not one of the gigantic ones. And, but what I want to point out here is that Shadow Knolls is an 800-acre development. It's like 850 acres or so, comprised of 28 lots. They're all 20-plus acres in size. It's pretty low-key. No serious hills to pull or climb coming back in here, but you just got kind of like dirt roads. The HOA dues in here are only $225 a year, which is cheap. You know, but they plow the roads and stuff when they get snow on them. But from where I'm at here, I'm less than a mile out to Springfield Pike. So you're less than a mile off the paved road right here, which when you're looking at these 20-acre lots, that's a huge win. That's close. And you're within 5 minutes of multiple public access points on the south branch of the Potomac River. Whitehorse Mountain Wildlife Management Area, which is 1,765 acres of public hunting, is literally within 5 minutes of here to the access point. You're less than 10 minutes to Springfield, where there's a Dollar General, gas station, little country market. And you're about 15 minutes from the food line, the hospital, Tractor Supply, all that stuff in Romney. So you're out here, but you're not far from anything at all. So we'll get up in here and have a look around. Keenan Shanholtz here again, 10 Shadow Knolls. Just come up here behind the camper a little bit. I just want you to take note of how nice the trees are in here. These are all white oaks, which are the deer's favorite acorn to graze on. Big white oaks in here. As you can see, I'm back up in here behind the camper. But I think what I want to explore, hold the map out there. So, we're right up in here behind the camper, but I want to walk over here on this ridge over here, and I think there's probably a good build site over there. That's probably going to be the best building area on the bottom side, would be over here on this ridge, and we'll walk over there and have a look at that. But just wanted you to see, and there's trails all over this property. There's one over here, and it's easy to pick out on the aerial that runs from road to road. It looks to me like it needs cleaned out. And then there's also a trail in the power line that you can drive all the way up through. So we'll keep going here and explore, but well, actually, look right here. Here's a trail coming right through here. I mean, this is probably going to get us right over where we want to go. Yeah, definite nice trail right here. I don't know if the sun's going to block that out where it's hard to see, but good nice path right in here. Look at this. You got a couple little hollows coming down together right in here. And just look at the size of the trees in here. Nice, pretty woods. Yeah, this is going to take us right up on the little hill. I'll cut the video and pick it up here on the little knoll up here we're going. Keenan Shanholtz here again on lot 10 in Shadow Knolls. And I definitely found the building site here on the lower side if you want to build here off of Caribou. So I'm going to show you where I'm at. I'm right here on this little ridge that runs down. So we came in up by the camper, and there's a little trail, and that's where your driveway would go that brings you right up on this ridge right in here. And you can see how flat and nice it lays up here. And when the leaves are off and you cut some trees, I think you're going to have a pretty nice view of Whitehorse Mountain, looking kind of like to the west there. And also, this is where the perk test has been done at. So when they developed this back in the early 2000s, you know, the health department required that these lots be perked. So they did the perk test, but back then they just did a permit that was good for a year. So the perk on this is going to be expired, but that just shows you that it did perk at one time, and obviously the dirt doesn't change. But right here, you see where the shale's piled up. That's the old hole right in there where they did the perk test. So this is what the developer had in mind for a building site on this lot. And I'm telling you, you got, maybe if you wanted to hold out kind of like to the end of this point a little bit, you're going to be pleased with the view you have. So once again, I'm on this little knoll here. Camper's right directly through there. We barely scratched the surface, but this is a really nice property. I mean, just big, tall white oaks everywhere you look. Nice laying ground. Keenan Shanholtz here again, lot 10, Shadow Knolls. I'm gonna make this quick because my phone's about out of juice. But as you can see, I'm here in the power line. I'm standing on the bed of my side-by-side, which I've drove up through here just fine. And the property line is going to be in the center of the power line. So if you just split the two poles in half right there. But mainly what I wanted to illustrate here is how nice this lays. Once again, this property's over to this side. But the property is below the first set of poles there. And Brockett Drive is above the next set of double poles there. So you got two sets of the double poles here on the lot. But really what I wanted to point out, this lot has 1,401 foot of frontage here in the power line. And I would say if you got down there below that set of poles and you're shooting into the bank up here, you could easily get about a good 250 to 300 yard shot with a rifle. If you want to do some long range shooting, you could maybe stretch 300 yards out here on this lot, because you know you'd be shooting from downhill uphill into the bank to keep it safe. But this is an easement for the power company. You own this ground, the power company just has an easement across it. And once again, it's from the center of the power line this way. So you know, don't look at the power line as a negative, look at it as a positive, especially one that's not one of the super high tension ones. This is a great place to ride, a great place to hunt, a great place to shoot, and it has no negative impact whatsoever on the property. The building site is all the way over against the other side, you know, on the knoll where we just took the first video. So you don't have to see this. You know, it's a positive, not a negative. Keenan Shanholtz here again, 10 Shadow Knolls. I'm going to wrap this up here, and I may add a video clip or two. I recently sold lot 9 beside of this. I might add a couple clips to the end of the river access that's close to here. But I just wanted to show you where I was at really quick. I'm on the upper road. I'm right here at this corner up on Brockett Drive. So we started down here at the camper, walked up, went up on the knoll here at the building site, came back down, drove all the way up the power line and the side by side, came out to right here. And so I tied 3 ribbons here on the electric pole, and you can see the metal fence stake there with the ribbon on it. Property's gonna go this way along Brockett Drive, which is the upper road that you border, and it goes from here out to the power line. So it's pretty easy to figure out on the top side. Now, if you wanted the mega view as good as you could get, you would come up here and go off the bank right here of your driveway and wrap that back around. You got a little space to work with on this hillside, and you're gonna get a fantastic view looking to the west, which is this direction. But upon further review, after I looked at that bottom down there where it was perked at, that's the best building site on this lot in my opinion. And that's plenty nice. But if you did really want the view, you got enough space to work with up here to get it, and you'll be able to tell that in the drone shots with the pictures. But I'm gonna wrap it up because my phone's about to die. Almost 27 acres of beautiful hardwood forest that you can get around on for $125,000. That's close to everything, but it's far enough away from everything, and all kinds of public access to the river within just minutes of you. Whitehorse Mountain right over here, 1,700 acres of public hunting. Don't know what more you could ask for. Come check it out.